my goodness, guys. Terri Hardin, Walt Disney's legendary Imagineer here. Do you think I'm always apologizing for being late? This is because my Patreon page, I really didn't think I had a lot to talk about today on my Patreon page. And it turns out that I did. One of the things is I shared with them. If you're part of my Patreon page, you get a special link to go to the Disneyana event that is honoring me as a Disney legend. That's right. The Disneyana Fans National is honoring me as a Disney legend. Forgive me. I'm not making strange noises. I'm trying to open my shake. But the Disneyana event, I am being honored. Again, Terri Hardin, Walt Disney's legendary Imagineer. You are in the right place. I know I was a touch late today. Forgive me. Just a lot to say. I had a crazy weekend. Up, down, crazy, wonderful, cool, fabulous, unbelievable. Oh my goodness, oh my goodness, oh my goodness, right? And so I'm kind of catching my breath today on a Monday, which is kind of crazy because why do you catch your breath on a Monday? But yeah, so today I wanted to share a couple things with you guys. I wanted to share a couple of things you may or may not know about and I thought you guys knew this. Okay, let me just preface this by saying I thought you guys knew about this stuff. Okay, so first of all, let me just, as you are coming together and joining me, let me tell you once again about the Disneyana Fan Club's legendary award event. Disneyana, before the pandemic, would always have two amazing shows. And in the second show, over the summertime, they would honor someone they believed was a true Disney legend. This time, on May 14th, it's yours truly, Terri Hardin. I'm very, very honored. I'm very, very touched. This is a great body of people that have decided that I deserve the Legends Award, because I do. And their message is to send it to Disney and let Disney know that I absolutely deserve being a Disney legend acknowledged by Disney. Will this happen? Who knows? But it's really nice that they're doing this, and they're doing it on May 14th. They have an event on May 14th, and the 15th they have a show and sale, and it's collectors who sell to collectors. So you get some really beautiful stuff, access to some incredible things, and that thing that you might have been looking at a long time for in your collection. If I step this way, you will see this Mickey Mouse right here. This is a Robo Mickey Mouse, okay? And I bought at the Disneyana show and sale. I'd never seen him before, ever in my life. And when I saw him, I fell in love with him, and I bought him right away. Isn't that the way that we work? Let me just change the angle of this a little bit. Isn't that the way you work? When you see the thing that you think you really want, you just go, wow, I need that. And Robot Mickey Mouse is one of those things that I really, really needed. So really, really needed to have him. So you're going to find things you just can't believe, because these collectors, as like you, if you're a collector, they're amazing. They collect what's special to them. So this is what's so cool about it. And so that's happening. The dinner happens on May 14th, and I hope you will attend. Simply Google Disneyana Fan Club, and it will take you to the event page. And you can start by Googling Disneyana Show and Sale and then work backwards if you want, make a call if you want. But on the tribe today, many people talked about wanting to gather because we haven't seen each other since before. I mean, many of us haven't seen each other. Many people joined during the pandemic, my Patreon page. And so this is it. If you want to join, it's $5 a month, $60 a year at the base tier, base portal level. You can walk through that portal for just $5 a month. And I hope you join us, because we have a broadcast before this one every Monday and Friday. And then we have a Zoom call. And this this Wednesday for our Zoom call at 11. We're featuring one of our members, and what we do is a spotlight where you get featured to talk to the group for an hour about what it is that makes you tick. And you don't have to do this on the page, but you're welcome to, so that I can learn about you just as much as you can learn about me. And it's a private page, so it's a lot of fun. So I urge you to be a part of the Patreon page. Go check it out. See if you like it. You want to be in a higher portal. You want to walk through a higher portal. You're welcome to. But yeah, we hope that you'll add your voice to ours and support each other and have a lot of fun. And you don't have to be a classic artist. You don't need to draw, paint, or whatever. You're just passionate about what you do. And we have people who clean, and we have people who are nomads. They travel around in their vans or their RVs, seeing the world, which is amazing to discuss with them. Their challenges can be Wi-Fi, as you might imagine, but it's great. I have UK in the house, Australia in the house, lots of cool people, and it's a lot of fun. So Canada, let me not forget Canada. So it's from all over the world, and we all support each other. So I hope you'll come and join me as I get indoctrinated as a Disney legend by the Disney Anna fan club. Joining me will be Kim Irvine, and Kim Irvine's mother played Madame Leota, and rumor has it she might be the Madame Leota in the Haunted Mansion now, but I don't know that to be a fact. If you do, post it in the comments, please, so that we can be sure about that. But anyway, she's going to join me, and we're both, because, they're both honoring us, and it's going to be fun. It's going to be a nice dinner. There's going to be an auction. And then the next day, that Sunday, the 15th, is the show and sale, and it's a lot of fun. So I hope you'll come out for the weekend and celebrate with me, and or at least come to the show and sale and come see me. If it's a busy weekend for you, then I understand. But I wanted to let you know now, March 21st, so that you could prepare if you want to. And it's in Orange County near Disneyland. So you can make it a day. You can make it, you can make a package. You can come Friday and go to Disneyland, book that, that date, and then see the other on the side. Could be a lot of fun. Yeah, I might do that. Anyway, there you have it. Right. So there you have it. So if you have anything to say, any comments that you want, anything you'd like us to talk about today, please post it in the comments here, and I am happy to do that. Let's pull this Patreon. That's been up the thing. If you need to reach me directly, you can reach me at terri@terrihardin.com, or the Instagram here, which is always up. You could do that. Take a picture with your phone if you don't want to scroll through the whole presentation again. You don't have to. Okay. And that'll be very, 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 very cool. And then I'll look at your comments. But before we do that, let's just get this going here. Before we do that, you saw my thumbnail, right? You saw that I was going to share a couple of secrets you may or may not know. Now, here's the thing. I thought everybody knew this, because I'm usually one of the last to know, like a Disney special secret or something that's cool. But I just had a wonderful dinner with some collectors. There was probably about 8 of us, 2 from London. And we were having this lovely dinner at Museo and Frank's Grill. Do you know this place? You saw the thing. Do you know this? Do you know about this place? Have you been here? This is a place you need to be, okay? They opened in 1919. That's right. They're celebrating their 100 years in Hollywood. And I'm going to give you a little history, but I want to show you something that you can see. And then we're going to talk about the next secret item. But let's talk a little bit about Museo and Frank's to celebrate their 100 years. And because it was 1919, they were going to kick it off in 2020. And you know what happened then, right? Da-da! So I happened to ask them when I ate at Museo and Frank's to celebrate. And Museo and Frank's is a place where filming has occurred. It's on Hollywood Boulevard. Filming has occurred. People have filmed many movies there. I myself have been in 3 films that have filmed at Museo and Frank's. And there's a show now, I think it's called the Kaminsky Method, that the guys all meet at Musso and Frank's. One of the charming things when they do this is there are many older servers who have been with Musso and Frank's for 30, 40 plus years. And instead of hiring an actor, they decided just to let the people of Musso and Frank's who serve be on this TV show, which is really special. It's really sweet because you get to see your friends there, and they have great stories because it went through the golden years of Hollywood, meaning that, for example, at Musso and Frank's Grill on Hollywood Boulevard, that is one of the first places that Charlie Chaplin did the roll bit. You remember his little roll dance that he did? He did that roll dance at Musso and Frank's. That's where he kind of came up with the concept, right? He ate there regularly, as did Mary Pickford, as did Cary Grant, you name it, they were there. And then recent actors go there. It is the who's who of Hollywood's place all through the golden age. They used to go through there, very close to the Mussos. And they still own it today. So let me show you this cute little plate. Look, my clay. Let me show you this cute little plate. I'm back to sculpting some things today, so that's why the clay is sitting there smiling at you. But they have this really cute, go this way, there you go, commemorative plate. Musso and Frank grill at the top, and you can see it's like a little saucer about the size of my hand. I hope they do more, but it's to celebrate their 100 years, and I really, really, really love it. I went to Musso and Frank. I mean, lots of things about Musso and Frank that were special to me, and just really, really thought that was a secret. So why am I sharing it with you today? Because guess who else went there? Walt Disney. Yeah, I mean, you're not going to be Walt Disney and live in Burbank for a while with your studios in Burbank and not have a power lunch at Musso and Frank's, which Walt did. There's also the Mussos signed this card with the plate. So the signature is right here. Super exciting and really cool. And it says that you have purchased an authentic vintage piece of historic Chinaware. And they want you to know, okay, because at this Sunday is the Academy Awards, isn't it? Whoop, whoop, or you know, I don't know how you feel because a lot of awards that they usually announce are not going to be announced. They decided to do it differently this year, and I think it's a mistake. So I don't know if I'll watch it because I want them to bring those awards back. That's my opinion. Everyone should be on TV. But anyway, Musso and Frank's was established before the Academy of Motion Pictures was established, and also Musso and Frank's was established before the Hollywood sign went up. So this is really cool, you know. They began on September 27th, 1919, and the Hollywood Citizen newspaper ran a formal announcement of the opening of Frank Toulette's new restaurant, Frank's Cafe, at 6669 Hollywood Boulevard. Later, he met a really great guy, Joseph Musso, who had a restaurant. He had closed it, and after just closing his restaurant, he joined Musso, and Musso and Frank came together and did Musso and Frank's Grill. That same time, the restaurant had a brand new chef, Jean Roux, who created a menu, and this menu still happens today since 1920. So you can still order stuff at Musso and Frank's that was served in 1920. You can actually have a cocktail. My friends from London wanted to order a cocktail that one of the characters in the Kaminsky ordered, but they didn't have Dr. Pepper. It involves Dr. Pepper in that TV show. So that's something I think they're going to try and fix. And then they have the table where they ate. And if you're a party of four, you can eat. You can actually request the table while Kaminsky is shot. So that's if that's a thing for you, you might want to do that. What else do we got? World-renowned executive chef at Musso's for 53 years. In 1927, Joseph Carasini, an Italian immigrant, partnered with John Museo, also a Italian immigrant. In 1927, Cassini and Museo bought the restaurant and became the new owners of Museo and Frank Grill. In 1934, they moved right down the street to 6667 Hollywood. Now, I'm reading this because I want to get it accurate. I know a lot of this, but I wanted you to know this is a place that Walt went. And although he doesn't have a special table, this is where he went. He would go here for power. You know, it's not far. So many actors of the golden era, Norma Shearer, all these people that you like, Barbara Stanwyck, you name it, they went here. Okay. This was the restaurant, along with the Brown Derby, which no longer exists, unfortunately. But anyway, I thought you'd like to know about this. It was the restaurant it became a favorite watering hole and restaurant for silver screen legends, directors, studio executives, and they encouraged the owners to expand. And in 2009, the three descendants of the family bought the family's interest in the restaurant, and now Museo is the sole owners. After 93 years, the third and fourth generations of Museos now own and operate the restaurant. For more than 100 years, they have been dedicated to serving Hollywood. It's always a place to eat. So if you've not been to Museo and Frank's and you're coming into Hollywood, guys, I highly encourage you to go eat at this restaurant. It is a very, very big deal. And I found out from a lot of Disney enthusiasts that it was a secret. They had no idea it was even there. Isn't that something? Many of you know about the Tam O'Shanter Inn, which is in Glendale, where Walt has his own special table. Do you guys know about that? You can go there and, but they don't reserve Walt's table. You have to get there when it opens and claim it. Okay. And so if you have not heard about that, I might as well share that with you too. That was just down the street from where Walt first established his animation studio in Glendale, California. So you could just slide right into the Tam O'Shanter and eat. And often Alice Davis would eat there. But the table that's Walt's table, you can ask, but you should really get there and be at the front of the line. You know, they usually open for dinner about 5, I think. And then you race to the table and claim it. It sits 4 people and you can eat at Walt's. It's got carvings in the table. They preserved everything there too, but that's an actual Walt. And then they got a plaque that says it's Walt table and you can take a picture there. So if you're a Walt Disney fan and you want to do something interesting and fun that really doesn't cost you except for the price of a meal, you can go do that. Okay, while we're on the subject of Walt, let's chat about the bakery that was Walt's favorite bakery. Have you heard of this? It's in Burbank, and it's called Martino's. This is Martino's Bakery. There it is floating. Okay, Martino's Bakery. Why was Martino's Bakery Walt's favorite favorite bakery? The tea cake. This is a little tea cake. Now, I think at the time that Walt had it, it was rectangular. So it was about that big, you know, but this little tea cake is delicious and yummy. Ooh, I'm getting crumbs all over the bottom. See, it's like just a vanilla kind of a cake. It's a very special recipe. Only Martino's can do it. And every day before he went to, pretty much every day before he went to work at Walt Disney Studios, he would get a tea cake. And then he would have it with his coffee in his office. Now, he may have sent his secretary out to get them from Martino's Bakery. But this is something else that I found out a lot of you do not know. If you do, post in the comments and I will applaud you. Okay. But this little bakery is in Burbank, not far from the Disney Studios. I'm going to take a bite right now. It's got cinnamon and a warm, buttery taste that is exclusive to Martino's Bakery. Okay. Martino's Bakery. And they have been in existence since 1926. Okay. Now, they used to be in a location in Burbank, but they made their bakery smaller. After a while, they decided that a couple of things had changed in the world, and it's really good, guys. I'll stop eating it in front of you. It's not cool, is it? But they used to have a very big bakery, and now they have a smaller bakery. They do cakes, they do commission things. They still are very busy. But the tea cake they're known for, and Walt found out about them and fell absolutely head over heels in love. So Martino's Bakery is a place you got to check out if you're coming by to take a peek at the dwarves at Disney Studios. I highly recommend that you go swing by Martino's. They're open 7 in the morning until 4 in the afternoon, bakery hours, Monday through Friday. And then on Saturdays, they're 8 to 3. So, but you can Google them, Martino's Bakery, and you can go get a tea cake. Okay. Tea cake is their biggest seller, and you're going to love them. You're going to love them. Don't just get one. And you can celebrate, if you're going to have a little Walt Disney party or whatever, you're going to celebrate Walt in some way, or you just want a tea cake for yourself. I thought that you should know about this. Okay. The tea cakes are amazing. They're beautiful. They're small. They're cute. There it is again. Woo, with a bite out of it because Terry just couldn't wait. But these tea cakes are amazing and really, really lovely. And I wanted to share that with you today. I got really excited because I talked to a lot of fans in this past 2 weeks. A bunch of fans have come to see me, or we've met to eat. And as we start to gather, still with a bit of social distancing, but we still get together. And I wanted to just let you know about it, because many people said I had no idea. I didn't know. I wasn't sure. So again, let me just show you the box. I'm going to go over here and cut to this and show you the Martino's box right here, and let you know that there you go, right? Isn't that cool? That is super cool. And I want to invite you to go to Martino's. The tea cakes aren't that expensive, so you can get one. You're not necessarily going to get out of there with just the tea cakes. This lovely Martino's box holds 6, and I've got 4 left. Okay. So I gave one to my husband today. But we'll set them there. You better remember they're there. I'll sit on them. But anyway, I thought I'd share that with you today. So there you go. A couple of secrets you may or may not know. And if you have a Walt secret and you want to share it with us, go ahead and post it in the comments. But yeah, so a couple of things. Like I said, I wanted to announce that, wanted to tell you about the Patreon page. And then Sunday was I mentioned that the weekend was very wild and crazy and absolutely a little bit fun. The chessboard for Rolly Crump has been decided upon, the Rolly Crump chess set. I'll share that with you maybe Friday. And I have some phone calls to make. I've got some people to thank for helping me with that. And also, I wanted to let you know that I may have talked about my my mentor. Many of you have asked me about puppets and stuff. Years ago, when I was a fledgling and just making puppets like crazy and not knowing what I was going to do with them, performing at my church and I did do a Teatro de los Puppets with Betsy Brown when I was young, but I think I was 20. I thought I was 17, but I think I told my tribe that I was 17, but I think I was 18, maybe 19, when I flew to Canada to do my first really big show. And the person responsible for that was my dear friend and mentor, Pat Breimer. We lost Pat during the pandemic, not because of COVID, other complications. And his husband, Jimmy, of 40 plus years, I think he said 45, 6, 8. But Jimmy and he, thick as thieves. And losing him was tough, really, really tough. Pat has built each and every one of these puppets. He is an amazing performer. He played the gopher in Caddyshack, and he also was the, you remember Pet Cemetery, Pets.com, where that was that crazy sock dog? That was Pat. And I think, I don't know if he performed it and built it or both, but probably. Anyway, he was with the group that made that come to life. And he just done a ton of things. But he was the one who chose me when he was with Hanna-Barbera to do BB Beagle, which was a spin-off of the Muppets. And he needed one puppeteer, and he chose me. And he taught me how to build. My favorite puppet that he did was this cat right here. This cat, you could take your center finger and make the eyebrows go big and wide, so it's in your hand, but you put your middle finger, that would make that cat's eyes go big. I just fell in love with that cat. Unfortunately, while driving it to his studio, the cat flew out the back and got run over. So we were both really sad because he was gonna, let me have that cat, but the cat got squashed. So that was really sad. But yesterday we had a celebration of Pat's life, and Jimmy was there, his husband. And it was hard on Jimmy, of course, but for me, it was hard on all of us. We missed that shining light that is Pat Brymer, but we know he's up in heaven with Jim Henson and other people that he loves and cares about watching over us, as well as with my little dog, Tilly. He and Jimmy used to take care of my dog, Tilly, and we used to get together for dinner and just popcorn and movies because we loved movies, as well as being two killer puppeteers. My whole career has had Pat in my life. So I thought I would share a couple of pictures that I have. Here I am at that ripe young age, and we are in Vancouver, together in Vancouver with our friend Greg. We lost Greg years ago to AIDS, I believe. And that was a heartbreaker because Greg is just a darling man. But that's Pat, and you can see how young I am here. And we're up in Vancouver shooting our first show, BB Beagle, and I think we're on our way to Victoria Island or some cool place on our day off. But this picture frame that you see here sits in my office and has for a very, very long time. Not as long as I've known Pat, but a long time. And he's always with me. I have him everywhere. He taught me how to build puppets. He taught me, he was amazing. I did a lot of puppetry. And then on that show with Hanna-Barbera, BB Beagle, he taught me how to use a television monitor and not look up at the puppet. And he was very nurturing and patient, but I owe my puppetry career to him putting my feet upon the path. And there were a lot of puppeteers, and there were a lot of people on this celebration of life, virtual celebration of life. Over 100 people attended, and we had some great stories celebrating his life. Here he is in his home with one of his characters. Doesn't he just look cute as a bug? And here he is again with the character. And then he and Jimmy went on a trip together, and they brought these puppets back for me. And I had them framed, and they're in my office. They've been in my office since Pat gave them to me. So like I said, he's all through. And then I thought you guys would like to see this. These are some characters that I did while working at Apogee. Apogee is the studio where John Dykstra, it's John Dykstra's studio. I don't think it exists very huge anymore. It was a big place down here in Southern California, but I don't think it's there anymore. Dykstra is the one who designed the Dykstra Flex camera, which gave us those amazing flyovers and dodges and darting in the original Star Wars film of 1977. That's Dykstra and a team of about 7 people, I understand, from Dykstra's own lips. And that he made George Lucas. He helped to make George Lucas's phenomenon Star Wars a great success because of this amazing camera. And he hired Pat and I because he saw some puppets that Pat and I had created, and he wanted some for a commercial he was doing with the famous Joe Pitka. called Disposer Care, which was a powder you could pour down your disposal to smell nice. And these are the characters. So Pat and I are in the background here building, where we're working on the puppets. And then actually, I think John Dykstra took this picture. But these are the ones that made Jim real excited about doing a show, because he couldn't get over how unusual these pieces were. So he really loved them. And here we are on the garbage disposal set. And I say Pat is visited by his puppet angel. That would be me. And Jimmy is his puppet angel. I mean, his true angel of love. But anyway, we're holding one of the puppets. He's holding one of the puppets. And then here we are. The reason we are covered in rain gear, et cetera, is because they poured Methocil on us. Lots of Methocil. And if you don't know what Methocil is, it's that goop that drips from the alien's mouth in the original movie and subsequent movies in the aliens movies. It drips from the mouth. It's used, it was used. I don't know if McDonald's is still using it, but it was to make the shakes fluffy. It's like a vegetable mixture ingredient, and they add it to the shakes to make them extra fluffy. It's kind of creepy, actually. But anyway, that's what they used. And they used it. So that's why we're covered in this goop, because we were creatures living in the garbage disposal. And Pat and I designed these together and came up with the concept and designed the set and everything. And then I was always looking to do things with Pat because A, he was my mentor. I wanted to give back as much as I can. And B, I'm telling you, it was just the body of work for Pat is just so huge that celebration of life would have lasted forever. Okay. It just would have, like me. Okay. We are very similar in our bodies of work. He did Barbara Mandrell and Mandrell Sisters for, I think I mentioned that. He just did so much. But the Caddyshack Gopher, we were saying this yesterday, is that the thing that people remember him for? We remember him for, he did, the marionette puppet shows when Les Poupées Paris was done with Tony Urbano, who is a mentor to both of us. I don't know if Tony was a mentor for Pat, but he was for me. They were colleagues, the two of them, and Tony was there and shared a time when they went off to shoot a show or to do I don't know if it was a cruise or what it was. And Pat and he were in the same apartment. They kind of had this one room apartment that they stayed in together for a few months. All the stories were great, guys, but to really dig deep into Pat Breimer's life, it takes a long time. It's going to be like a book this thick. It could be cool actually to do a book. I don't know if Jimmy's up to doing something like that, but I would certainly be eager to help, because there's so many things I can say and that I love about this man, and a lot of who's were there, including Pat worked with Sherry Lewis a lot. And he helped bring her Lamb Chop to, make sure Lamb Chop, he was the builder, helped Sherry with building Lamb Chop and creating Lamb Chop. And now Mallory has taken on the baton from her mother, and she does Lamb Chop as well. And she said yesterday at this event that Mallory Lewis, she said that Pat was the one to help her make a good, get, inspired to follow her mother in the ventriloquism and Lamb Chop. She said Lamb Chop wouldn't exist today. She would have, Lamb Chop would have been with Mom if it hadn't been for Pat's encouragement. So a lot of beautiful, beautiful things occurred. And then Jimmy worked in theater as a stage manager, Dorothy Chandler Pavilion, Mark Taper Forum down here in LA, among other ones, who's who in his own right, and really good friends with us. So I just wanted to take a moment to celebrate Pat Breimer and his life, and to say, guys, the earth is sadder because this light is no longer on earth, but heaven is rocking right now. Heaven is having a great time. And he took care of my little dog, Tilly. So this is my little dog, Tilly, and she absolutely loved Pat and Jimmy. And anytime I said Pat and Jimmy are going to come over, or Pat and Jimmy, where you're going to go over and stay with Pat and Jimmy, they were just excited. This is when Pat and Jimmy didn't have their dogs. It was just little Tilly. And she was so happy to spend time with them, and they took such good care of her and would beg me, are you going on another trip? Because we'd like to be the keepers of Tilly, and they were the Tilly keepers. So I know that's a bit off of topic, but this is what my husband was sweet enough to sacrifice family day so that I could prepare for this, because I wanted to share and I wanted to show those pictures. There are pictures from the Pavlonis puppets. Remember I said I did Dolly Parton? I worked with Dolly Parton. Let me say that's a little better. Did a Christmas show with Dolly Parton. Good Lord. And it's Monday. But the Pavlonis puppets that you saw, though, those sculpted puppets, Pat did a lot of the sculpting, participated in the Pavlonis things. I did a series early in my career called Nanny and Isaiah series with Concordia. It was a religious, faith-based series where Nanny learns about Jesus and meets a family that lives in the basement of a church. I should show you that book. I'll dig it up if I can. And we can talk about it more if you're interested. But we did 13 videos of the Nanny and Isaiah series. I played Nanny. Pat played Isaiah. We had a great time. We also worked with the great people like Bruce Lanoyle and others. It was just great. It was just great. And it was so good to see these people on the virtual Zoom thing yesterday. And I hope I can connect with some of them, because it has been a while. But I was so excited, so touched, and so thrilled to be a part of it yesterday. And I thank my husband for understanding that this was important to me on Family Day. So what he did was he made sure that dinner was waiting when I got off the Zoom call, and we curled up and watched Godzilla movies. And if you haven't seen the new Godzilla package that Criterion's put out, you got to check it out. I will try to show it to you on Friday, because it is gorgeous. It is beautiful. And I don't think that expensive for what you get. So I'll share it with you. Okay. Don't buy it on eBay, because I think Criterion still has it for sale. We bought it through Criterion. So that way you don't have, buy it from the source, and not get that jacked up prices from, from eBay. That's the interesting thing, is you figure if it's on eBay, it's been discontinued. No. Go and check it out at Criterion first, the Criterion website, because a lot of times it's right there at the price that, but it's really a beautiful Godzilla set. We had no idea it was like it was, but I'll share it with you if you guys are interested at the next Ask Me Anything, which is this Friday. Okay, so let's see what you have to say. I've chatted quite a bit. I'm trying to make sure that I've dotted all my I's and crossed all my T's so that you know what's happening in the future. Cheshire Cat is still being painted. I'm actually going to meet with the painter, hopefully via, I don't know if it'll be via Zoom. I've got to see if her website, or she can do Zoom, but we might, I don't know, but we'll try and do it so that I can give you an accurate report of how the cat is coming along. It's I would like to be able to send it to you at the end of this month, but I'm not going to push her, because I need them to be accurate, and she is painting an edition of 50. So to be consistent, and you've got to allow your painter to it's not real good to have a bunch of painters, because each painter has their own different styles, and so she is exclusively the Cheshire Cat painter, and you saw that cute picture of it, and if you want to see it again, I'll show it to you Friday. Okay. All righty, so let's see what you all have to say. How was your weekend? How are things going? This week coming up, Sunday, is the Academy Awards. Are you going to watch it? I don't know if you even care. I've watched it since I was 3 every year, never missed a year. So I'm sitting here trying to decide whether I want to boycott it or not, because they got rid of a lot of awards off of TV. They had a luncheon. I didn't get to see it. They'll probably do a recap, and I just don't know if I'm going to like it. But the Academy Award says that people don't watch award shows anymore. I think after the last fiasco they did last year, which was just terrible, that could be one of the reasons. So I don't know if I watch it, but I definitely am putting together my list of people who I think will win, and I'm praying for. There's a couple of movies that I'm really wanting to win, so we'll see how that goes. I gotta download my list so I can mark it off, because I like to mark it off beforehand and see how many I win, but we'll see. whether or not I even watch it. And then I'll just look after, something like that. I have to watch it alone because I'm very, very verbal and loud and annoying. So it's the truth, guys. It's me. So yeah. So let's see what you all have to say. I'm so glad you joined me today. Thank you for joining me. You're so wonderful and kind. Good morning. Happy Monday. You're not that late. Oh, Joe, you're so sweet. Yeah, I was really chattering with them today, and well, we're starting the spotlight on Wednesday, and I want him to know that one of the members, Evan, is going to be a part of it, and he's just got back from Israel, so we're all excited to hear what he has to say. Mazel tov, says Stephen. Thank you, Stephen. Stephen, you would have liked that thing yesterday. Who's of puppets there? A lot of people from the Puppetry Guild, Christine Papalexis and Ron, I think his name, Rick, R-I-C. He was there. A lot of Puppetry Guild people. It was just great. It was just great. I would be good. Hi, Joel. You have my vote. I love you, Joel Christopher Payne. Happy Monday, Michelle. Happy Monday. Good morning, Terry. Happy Monday. Just looked up Museo and Frank Grill, and they're closed Sundays and Mondays, but open from 11 to 11 Tuesday through Saturday. This is a great place, okay? But let me tell you something, all right? They're going to ask you for your validation card, and they ain't playing, all right? This is Hollywood, and this is California, and we're like no other state in the union. You know this about us, right? And it's not to be like, oh, we're so cool. We're just more paranoid than most. They relaxed the mask mandate, and many of us are still wearing masks because we want to protect those of us who have high-risk family or are ourselves. Also, and I can't speak for any other state because I live in California, but as far as the pandemic is concerned, okay, let's say that everything is cool. I mean, that's what I want to be with the pandemic. I want it to be at a point where we can maybe not wear a mask. On the other hand, I have not been sick even a sniffle since I started wearing a mask. So I'm like, if I'm in a group that is questionable, I don't know where you've been, or maybe I just feel I should be a little extra careful or cautious, I'm going to wear a mask. I'm not going to listen to the fact that some of you don't think it works. Don't care. Okay. It's worked for me. It's kept me safe. So as far as I'm concerned, I'm doing it. And in California, there's many people that just are letting you be who you are, and you wear your mask. Okay. You want to wear your mask. You don't want to wear your mask. It's fine. Okay. Just don't get into these terrible debates where you start to judge each other, because that leads to terrible things like violence. Okay. Nobody likes to be insulted personally, so don't do it. Let the person who wants to wear a mask, and those that don't, do it. Asia has been doing it for years, and now I think they're onto something, because honestly, I think it's a great idea. If you're sick or something and you want to keep other people safe, put it on, and if you're not sick, it's a great way to stay unsick. So I don't know. I'm a very busy person. I really don't have time to be sick. And so I just do it. And that's my choice. And we're in America, so it's your choice too. Okay. So that's all I want to say about that. But yes, Museo and Frank's will ask for your vaccine card. You have to show it before you can get into the studio. I don't know how long this will happen, but understand there's a lot of servers there that have been there 30, 40, 50 years. So they're older. Yeah. Oh, guys, it's like walking back in time when you go there. I really urge you to go. It is super cool. And I didn't realize so many of you didn't know about it. So I am fixing that today. Yeah, it's a great restaurant. Can't say enough about the merits of Terry's Tribe. Join us to lift your heart. Connie, that is so, isn't that nice? You skeptics are going, but it's the skeptic that needs to be there, right, Connie? And thank you for saying that. That's so sweet of you. Connie just joined us too. So that really touches my heart that she's enjoying herself. She's a great addition to the group, she's lovely. I can't wait to do a spotlight with her, because she's got roots. Yeah. In the Disney world. And you love to talk to those people with roots. We have cast members that are from Disney. We don't have any cast members from Florida yet, but we we do have cast members from Disneyland, and it's a lot of fun to hear their point of view and what they're feeling and their perspective. It helps us when certain issues pop up that we can't really necessarily talk in a public channel. We can talk really specifically in the private one. So consider it, guys. Please do. It was featured in Quentin Tarantino's Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Yes, it was. I mean, why wouldn't it be? Because it was Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Yeah, if you like that movie, and I love that movie, yeah, you guys got to check it out. Museo and Frank's has been featured in a lot of films. Mama's Boy, where I met Eli Wallach, Museo and Frank is where we were. And there was an Adam Sandler film that I was an extra in. I do a lot of extra work because it pays decent money if you're Screen Actors Guild member. But I did that, and it was at Museo and Frank's. And what the criteria is for me as an actor is to put me as far away from the principals as possible, principal being the main actors. So Adam Sandler, if he's in a scene at Museo and Frank's, I want to be the silhouette in the back, because I'm very recognizable and can pull focus. They did a restaurant set, and I can't remember exactly it was, for men of a certain age. Do you remember that series? It was probably went like a year or something, maybe 2. But they had me as an extra a couple of times, and I kept trying to have them put me further back in the restaurant, because a lot of times they would sit me right behind the principal actors, and people all over would write to me and say they saw me on the show, because it can be the back of my head, right? And you still know it's me. So I always urge them, and they think it's funny. Right now, I'd love to do Yellowstone. I would love to be a part of Yellowstone, and I would love to be one of the people that's way out in the back just riding my horse all day. That would make me very happy. So I'm thinking of asking my agent to pitch Yellowstone. I would fly myself to Montana just to be out in the distance riding my horse, because I just love Yellowstone. I think it's an amazing, amazing series. Scary, wonderful, creepy, fun. And I'd love to just I don't need to be a speaking role. Just put me way out, because I think a lot of the people that have speaking roles are actual people who can rodeo ride. And it's been a long time since I rodeo rode, and I wasn't a big trophy winner. I won for endurance riding with my horse, but my barrel racing was just getting started when my career picked up, and I didn't get to finish. But I did one rodeo where I was a barrel racer. I did okay, but they have real cowboys on that show, and that's why I love it, because you've got a lot of him. If you read the credits, it's himself, herself, himself, herself, and that is what I love about the show. So I think those people that are in the spotlight have lines and stuff are actual cowboys and actual rodeo stars or known rodeo people, which is great, which is why I love it. So I don't need a line. Just put me way in the back riding a horse, like when they have those cattle things, or they're looking for the bear or something. You can put me way in the back, so I'm just a silhouette, and I just ride my horse all day, to show it's a big ranch, But I'd love to do that. And Once Upon a Time, absolutely. Quentin Tarantino is a big fan of that restaurant. Featured, not festered. Yeah, fat fingers. I knew you meant featured. I knew you did. I'm just going to skate over that, because we know how that spell check does. It doesn't necessarily catch it. Sometimes it puts its own thoughts in there, doesn't it? Has a mind of its own. Yes, it does. Joe says, I'm always excited about the Oscars, but I do hope the Academy changes its mind next year and in the future about categories that are not airing this year. One way to do that is to write to them, and I'm writing to them like a crazy person. Hey, man. Hey, man. Hey, man. You know what I mean? And I actually am a member of the Academy Motion Picture Museum, so I'm going to register a complaint there too. I just want them to know that I understand it goes long, but people who watch it, I think, need to understand it could go long. There are some speeches that are just not to be missed, made by people who don't have a huge, like people are thinking that the awards people want to see are Best Actor, Best Actress, Best Picture, Best Director, blah, blah, blah. But I can remember some animation, a group of animators who won, and they were just so darling and touching. And I'm trying to remember what it was. It was an animated short subject, but their speech was so touching. And that's one of the categories that may or may not air And it's just a heartbreaker not to be able to be there when someone really talks about something. You know, every person, including the actors. Okay. Now, a lot of people say it's the same as the Disney Legends Award, that the Academy, that you got to really campaign for that award or you don't get even thought about. You know, you don't campaign, you don't get nominated. I don't know. I'm not an Academy member. My husband is. We get a lot of DVDs, and we do wish that DVDs would come of movies that we really liked. We were really hoping to get Spider-Man because we were hoping that Spider-Man would get maybe an extra award, like maybe up in the picture category, because sometimes they've been doing that, but it didn't because it didn't want to release that DVD out to anybody. And they didn't even want to let us stream it. Many people in the Academy won't go to movie theaters. So you kind of limit the people who can see it if you don't give us a DVD or at least a link to stream it. Mm-hmm. So the opportunity to see it, you know, like for example, Coda, which is up for Best Picture, and it happens to be my choice. Okay, I love Coda, loved Coda, and not because it was a bunch of deaf actors. I loved Coda because the story was so well told, beautifully told, and talked about a situation that maybe I didn't think of. And I love watching a movie that kind of addresses something. Oh yeah, that is interesting. Do you know what I mean? So I think Coda's my vote. I really don't want it to be Power of the Dog because I thought that movie was garbage. I thought it was crap. I thought it was 2 hours wasted of my time. And I was really happy to break that they made sure I had lots of DVDs. I think we got 3. And I happily snapped them in half, never to watch it again because I hated that movie. And Cumberbatch was someone I really love as an actor. I think he's brilliant. And I was so heartbroken because I just hated. I don't use that word a lot. I usually say dislike extremely, but I hated that movie. I would have rather been doing Laundry, guys. It just didn't hit me well. And now it's up for Academy Award and people think it's a top contender. Dear Lord, please don't do that. I'm hoping the Academy a lot of times does some great stuff and shifts and does a movie. Like when they voted for Parasite. What was that, last year or the year before? That movie was so good. First movie to win an American Academy Award and be a foreign film. Oh my gosh, that movie was incredible. So I like all kinds of movies, but Power of the Dog was a dog. And that's offending the dogs. So I really did not like that movie at all. And, Sam Elliott said it real well. If you haven't heard his interview of him saying, these are not real cowboys. This is a bunch of BS. He really was a lot more verbal, if you can believe it. I have no catalytic converter on my mouth either, but Sam Elliott said no to this movie. And I'm with him hand in glove. It is as un-Western as Yellowstone is Western. Okay. And, just, ugh. So my goal is Coda will beat it. I'm hoping Coda gets it. That's my prayer. So my lips to God's ears, please let it be Coda. But then, there's lots of things about the Academy Awards. They're saying, they're bought. They're not. I don't believe they're bought. But I believe you have to campaign for yourself. You have to go to people and actually campaign for yourself, or no one's going to do it for you. Or if you're a production, you got to campaign, because that does still mean something when you win Academy Award, when you win that Oscar. And so I've loved this show more than any other show, and I hope that they do a good job this year, but I really am not happy. As Joe says, I just don't want them to neglect the speeches that we get from what people of the Academy assume are the lesser awards, that are important to us. Like makeup is one of my biggest ones that I love. I was responsible, not just me alone, but with a group of people, we fought to have makeup be included in the Academy Awards because they weren't including it. And that was ridiculous. And the Academy agreed. The Academy said, you know what? We agree with you. And they put it on the docket. Hundreds of us petitioned, hundreds of thousands of us petitioned to get the makeup award on there. And that's something I always look forward to seeing. I also love to see feature animation winner. I like to see the costume winner. I think costumes are probably going to be on air. I can't imagine they're not going to use that. That would be ridiculous to take costumes off, because the costumers are always doing such beautiful work. And the movies are very eclectic and crazy and wild. You got Squid Games and you got Coda, and then you've got that dog movie. You also have the one about the two tennis players, King Richard, which is beautiful. And well, all the acting across the board is done well. So it's going to be exciting to see what movie wins. And of course, that's going to be aired. But those other, short subjects, documentary short subject, documentary feature, those are things that are important to me. And I just really don't want them to disappear from the broadcast. If it goes a little bit over, get over yourself, okay? And I think that the station that covers it, just know that it might go over, but if it goes over, it's because we like it. Not like last year where I don't think it went over, but it was really awful. God. That Glenn Close bit. Oh, poor Glenn Close. I felt so sorry for her. She's a good actress. That was terrible. So anyway, I'm rattling on about it, but Joe, you get me. Oh, I love that. Oh, you love the TAM, table 3. Yes, Michelle. So see, Michelle is saying she knew about the Tam O'Shanter Inn. It is a big deal with Walt Disney, and he has a table there. So if you want to go sit at it, table 3. But if you don't even remember table 3, it doesn't matter. It's got a plaque on it, but you have to go at the very beginning. So I had my dear friends, Andreas and Sally, they flew in from London and they visited with me, and they wanted to go to Museo and Frank's because they had heard about this restaurant. But before the pandemic, they came to see me and they wanted to go to the Tam O'Shanter to sit at Walt's table. And I said, well, the Tam O'Shanter doesn't reserve this table. What they do is first come, first serve. So I said, you guys need to get down there early. My husband was working. And so we'll join you, but you need to get there first. So look at when it opens and get there a half hour early, and then stand in line and chat with yourselves so you can be first to that table. That's what they did. Now, here's what happened. They came right in, sat at that table, and a group of people sat nearby them and then confessed that they had really wanted to sit at that table too. So it's that close, guys. You really have to be quick, but you can do it. And what we did for this group that wanted to eat there is we let them sit. We got up and let them sit at the table and take pictures. And then we went back to one, right? So again, we paid it forward. You guys can sit here, but my friends from London nabbed it. So that's about the TAM. So I'm with you. The TAM is great. Next to the fireplace. It's beautiful. I haven't been to either Museo and Frank, been past it a few times, or the Tam O'Shanter, but I did get to go to the Milky Way in West LA back in 2005 and met Steven Spielberg's mother. Oh, how cute. That's a great story. What a great story. Oh, that's awesome. That is awesome. Was that awesome? There's nothing more fun than talking to some famous person's mom. You ever see Arnold Schwarzenegger's mom? Oh, she was just amazing. She was so cute. Big, like her son Arnold. She was a lovely woman. Big, robust woman. She's just adorable. Anyway, congratulations. That is a great story. Thank you for sharing it. Hello, Angie. How are you today? Good to see you pop in. Darren says, good morning, everyone. Must leave, but I also want to mention the awesomeness of the tribe. Mwah! I love you, Darren. We help each other out of ruts, okay? I have a dear friend right now. I wish he's a tribe member. I wish he would get on, but this is his busy time of year because it's taxes. But he could really use a dose of the tribe, and he is a member, but he really could use a dose because he said he's feeling kind of melancholy. The pandemic is kind of getting him down, right? So that's when you join us and we lift you up. That's what we do. All this energy. We wish we could bottle it, but that's as close as we can get. Wow, never heard the story about Walt and Martino's Bakery. I'm close to Burbank, and I think I need to jump in the car and go over there. You do. And have a tea cake because they're really yummy. Don't just get one, Michelle. Don't get one. It is so good. And he did that. He did that every, like, if he couldn't get to Martino's, he would send his secretary out, or his, do they call him secretaries now? At the time, I think it was a secretary, but associate. And yeah. Yes. So yes, I'm so glad. Michelle, see, this is what I mean. I assume that y'all know this stuff because I'm usually the last to know. And all of a sudden, here I am with about 8 people, and they go, we've never been to Museo and Frank's. We never heard of it. What are you talking about, Martino's Bakery? So yeah. So I decided to make this about that today, just so you can watch it and learn about it if you want to. If you don't, it's okay. Please subscribe. I meant to say that. Please subscribe if you dare. This is what it's about. A big, if you want to be electrified with hope, joy, and enthusiasm, subscribe, okay? Because that's me 24/7. I know it's hard to believe, but it's true. This is me all the time. Okay. I mean, really, every once in a while, I'll be down, and my tribe knows that I have those dark moments, like when I lost my mentor. But most of the time, I'm WYSIWYG. What you see is what you get. This crazy, wild, we'll talk about anything, up, down, no catalytic converter in her mouth, truth to you, every Ask Me Anything Friday, etc. Subscribe, okay? Be a part of us. Yeah, at least here. But if you really want to get the dose and really have fun, join the tribe on Patreon, patreon.com/Terri Hardin. That's if you really want to take it to the next level. So just $5 a month. $60 a year. Okay. What would Walt do with tea cakes from Martino's Bakery? Walt would eat them, but like Walt, eat Martino's tea cakes. Be like Walt. Be like Walt. Eat Martino's tea. Yes. Well, I mean, did you ever, what's the lady's name who wrote that book, Eat Like Walt? Is that what it's called? Something like that? Michael, if he's on here, he would know. And Leo, if he's on here, he would know. And you might even know, Joe, or Darren might know. But the point is, here's the point. The point is that I don't know if she talks about the tea cakes, but she talks about just about everything else that Walt ate. But this is a story that I've heard from, you know who I heard it from originally? Was the Sherman Brothers. Yeah. I had a great opportunity at the Disneyana fan club. Okay. This is at the Disneyana fan club. Afterwards, I was sitting with both Sherman Brothers and Alice Davis, and we were just chattering away about stuff. This can happen we've lost one Sherman Brother now, but the point is that this can happen very, very organically at the Disneyana fan club events. You can be in this little powwow circle as things are winding down, chattering away with these people. And that's when I learned about the tea cakes. And Alice Davis said, oh, yes, we used to always go to Martino's and get those tea cakes, because that's when they were on Hyperion. When they had their studios on Hyperion, they would just swing down and grab some Martino's Bakery, or if someone was coming from the area that was eventually going to be the big Walt Disney Studios, they brought the tea cakes in for people. So they're a big deal, the Martino's Bakery tea cakes, since 1927. So yeah, go treat yourself. They're really sweet people. Not the tea cakes. The tea cakes are delicious, not too sweet. But the people there are really, really special. And tell them that you heard them from my broadcast. Then they're going to go, who? And you can say the woman with the skull coat and the dreadlocks. And they'll go, oh, I think I know her. But they're great, and a great place to order a cake. In fact, one of my friends who is a Club 33 member had a birthday, and he loves Alice in Wonderland. And what we did is we asked them to do a giant tea cake. And it had a big red bow on it. And then I took Alice in Wonderland figures and decorated it for him. He absolutely loved it. He said he doesn't eat cake a lot, but he was going to eat that one. So there you go. Anyway, thank you for saying that. I think you should. I'd like to try Walt's chili recipe. I think you would. That book came across some things that were pretty ghastly that he ate. Walt ate. And some cool stuff too. I remember she talked about the green beans being rather scary, But it's interesting. You know, we all have probably a scary food that we eat. Me, it's the fish. I love fish. I don't really care if it's not swimming. I mean, if it is swimming. Indonesian shadow puppets, exactly. Yeah, and that was them. That's what they. Yeah, they're very special. But they've traveled everywhere with me. You know, I haven't always lived here, and they went everywhere with me. You know, because Pat has always been in my heart. Pat and Jimmy. You know, Pat is a big deal in my life, and we were really hoping to do a show together, and then this pandemic hit, and he had to leave us. But he's doing great up there, and I know he's watching over all of us with his loving heart, and he deserves every good thing he gets, and every good thing that he got. So, it's you know. It's amazing. Yay, Apogee, Oscar winner John Dykstra. I'm Facebook friends with his wife, Cass. How nice. Great job, Joe. That's great. Maybe I should see if I could be. I don't know that I ever got to meet her. We did some late nights at Apogee. I'll tell you, they were doing, at the time that Pat and I were doing Disposer Care, they were doing, is it Spaceballs? With the Winnebago that flies and the Statue of Liberty that's a vacuum cleaner. They built all of that. And then they did one, I think, I can't remember what it was, but they were building a miniature church. It was a you know, kind of a supernatural thriller, devil type thriller. I wish I could remember it. And they were hand building the church. In fact, there was a woman there who worked in stained glass, and she was doing these very intricate windows that were only about 15 inches tall, but they were those intricate windows in the miniature. Oh, it was just breathtaking. And then two of my favorite model makers were doing that Winnebago that flies. I think that was Spaceballs, right? They were doing that, and then they were doing this church, this scary movie that involved the church, but I can't remember the name of that one. I want to say 18th Angel, but that's not right. That's one I did with Greg Nicotero, the director of Walking Dead. We did 18th Angel, and I built the cats. I helped them build the cats for that. But yes, Dykstra, what a great guy. He used to sit at the end of our table at the end of the day because Pat and I asked if we could work an extra hour or so to keep on a very tight Pitka deadline. And John was very kind and said, of course, but a lot of the model builders would go away, and it was just us building away and John. So John asked if he could come over and sit with us and watch us build. He was absolutely fascinated at our puppet work. Let me just stop you there. Okay. I want you to hear that sentence. Okay. Because for Pat Breimer and I, we were absolutely blown away by John Dykstra sitting there and saying, do you mind if I watch? I can't get over how beautiful. And I just have never seen anything like these puppets. And I've never seen anything like you guys. And you guys are just, wow, can I sit and watch? And we were like, yeah, tell us stories about your Star Wars experience. Ask us questions and we'll tell you stories if you tell us stories, because I'm a Star Wars nut. You know that, right? I'm in George Lucas's book, page 3, Skywalking, about seeing it 183 times. So you know I love the original movie, and Empire Strikes Back as well. So he was really very, just being able to sit there in the evening, you know, he would have a coffee and we would be working, and it was just joyful. It was so much fun. And I got to do it with my dear Pat. And the puppet you saw that had kind of the pointy head, he had long arms, okay? And so to demonstrate to Joe Pitka and the client, Joe Pitka was at the time the #1 commercial producer in California, I guess, at least Southern California. Not the easiest to work with, but we had fun. And so to demonstrate it, I was the assistant and Pat was the lead. And the puppet kissed me, but he wrapped his arms around me. So he reached out and grabbed me and kissed me, but I was my own arms and Pat was lead in the head. And people forgot we were even there, and we were not in blacks, meaning we weren't covered up. Our faces were obvious, but the puppet just goes, come here, and grabs me and pulls me towards him and kisses me, but I'm the arms. people were just blown away. And that's what sold the show to the clients. Clients were like, we love these. And that was Pat and I. We were just a really, really great team. Is the chat stuck? I don't know. Looks like it's moving. Try again, Joe. Nope. You answered your own question. The host for the awards I like will make it a must watch. So the hosts are what you're excited about. I hope you're right, because I think you need hosts. I think they're a lot of fun, but sometimes they get out of control and chat too much. I think a lot of the times the show can go over because the host is yappy too much, you know? So I'm 50-50 on the host, but I hope so. And Angie says, hey, that's our friend Joe. Yeah, it's Joe. John Dykstra also worked on Tarantino. Once upon a time. You having a little trouble, Joe, again? His team did a great miniature of the now demolished Van Nuys Drive-In Theater. Exactly. Yeah. Tarantino also loved K&B, which stands for Kurtzman, Nicotero, and Berger. Greg Nicotero is the director of Walking Dead. If you're a big zombie, it's a dream come true for Greg. He loves zombies, always loved zombies. He and I worked very tightly together for many years. I was first brought in to do the prehistoric ground sloth skeleton for Relic. And then I built some seats for his flying sub that he had in his office and home. And I think I did some teeth for his shark. He put in a swimming pool. He loves Jaws. He's like Jaws crazy. But he's a great guy. He's a lovely person, and he's one of my champions, and I love him. But yeah, chances are, Dykstra. It was a small group of practical sculpting people. I mean, you know, you had your Stan Winstons, you had your Dykstras, you had Kurtzman, Nicotero, and Berger, you had Steve Johnson's shop, you had Stan Winston's shop. I think I mentioned that already. And several other people, and they were called garage shops, even though they weren't necessarily in a garage. They were called garage shops, and we would be like nomads and build for the various movies. We just travel around and work. Oh, and I forgot to mention a couple of major ones. There's the one that's owned by, I'll remember it in a minute. I'm sorry, guys, if you're watching, forgive me, say the name. But he built the Batmobile and brought it over when my husband, after my husband had open heart, had quadruple bypass surgery. He brought his Batmobile, Tom did, brought his Batmobile over so Lindsay could take a ride in it, the original one. He had rebuilt the Batmobile right to the point where fire comes out the back. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. But their studio, what is it? ADI, maybe? I never worked there, but I visited there often. Yeah. There were, you all kind of moved around back in that day of practical effects. So it was really fun. Rick Lazzarini studio. How could I forget you, Rick? Shame on me. My friend in Foster Farms Chickens. And then Dykstra Stop, Apogee. A lot of cities are strict with everyone showing proof of vaccination. It's the same here in New York City. Really? I didn't realize that, Joe. I think that same in many other major cities, it makes sense. I just think that it's optional in places that people understand the importance of it, that the pandemic is not yet gone. Okay. I wish it was. Everyone wishes it was, but let's not be stupid about it. Okay. I actually heard my friends in London who always attend the Lego anniversary event saying this is the first time they're not going to go because there's just too many people too close together without masks, and they don't want to be in that situation. And it's a shame because they love Lego like I do. So, wow, right? Wow. They put you way in the back when you're an extra because the stars are afraid of you stealing the spotlight. Not really. No. If you ever want to be on a movie set, being atmosphere, as it's called, is really a great way to do it because you can sit and learn. It is a lot of sitting. Many that are extras that float from movie to movie to movie have what is called the extras kit, which is like a little, newspapers in there, maybe a deck of cards so you can play solitaire, maybe, you've got to figure out a change of clothes. A lot of times they ask you to bring something that they can pick from for your wardrobe. They have like a kit. But the reason I got picked a lot, there's a company called Hollywood OS, and then there's Central Casting. And both will choose me specifically because I want to be away from the principals. A lot of people want to be next to the principals so they're seen on camera. My agent, no, put Terri as far back or I don't want her to be an extra because I just pull focus because of my look. Nothing I can do about it. So if you go and see Men of a Certain Age, I'm sure you could Google it or it's on Hulu or something. You'll find me there because they put me right up against it. For Mama's Boy, where I met Eli Wallach, which was a dream come true for me, by the way, Tuco from Good, the Bad, the Ugly. That's why I want to meet Clint Eastwood because he would be my third person. I met the other two. Now I want to meet. I talked to Eli a lot about Clint Eastwood, and the stories were just brilliant. I mean, Eli, what a love, just the sweetest man. And he gave me an autographed picture. Oh, he was a doll. I signed my 20-year anniversary, Good, the Bad, the Ugly DVD. I mean, he just was so kind. He was so kind. And we had such a good time together, him, his wife, and I, and then all the other extras. He sat with us in the extras tent because extras don't get a dressing room. They get a tent if they're lucky. And he came out and sat with us. He had a trailer, perfectly good trailer. But he came and talked to us because we all sat around him and told him stories about the movies that we loved that he was in. And it just really touched his heart. And we were able to give back to him in that way. So it was really great. But they said, Terri, we need someone to sit at the back. And Terri, we need someone to play the shadow on the window of the bookstore that they're acting in. So I wasn't even in the bookstore. I was the silhouette that walks in the back in the bookstore scene from Mama's Boy. So I got to play all those kind of roles. And my agent was like really happy about that because she doesn't really want me to be seen at all and recognized. And it's really hard to do that with me. So, but I'm an under 5, which means I'm at the level. I've done co-starring roles, but I haven't done enough for people to think that I'm a good co-star yet. So they think it'd be good for under 5. But the problem is I look so an under 5 person is a bridge between two key actors. So if you stop the camera in the middle, which often happens with me, then you're not good for the role. So it's been a challenge to get up in the acting world, but you just got to take it with a grain of salt. You just call yourself, as my agent calls me, the oak, and oaks take time to develop. So I just sit back and go, if it's going to happen, it's going to happen. Audition every time she sends me one and smile. And I'm just a good person. So should it happen, I'll let you guys know, when it's this instead of this. You could do a scene at the school where Monica teaches or in town. You bet. Just let me know. Parasite was released in 2019. I thought it was damn good. It was really good. It was what was so, and to see how excited he was when he won. See, that's why you watch. You watch people to get startled. Screen Actors Guild is really good about that. Coda got Best Ensemble, and they were just completely floored. They could not believe that they won. And I said, of course they won. I voted for them. So, yeah, just to watch people go, oh, you remember Sally Fields, you love me, you really love me, was one of the most touching speeches. Or the one where Nurse Ratched won, the actress who played Nurse Ratched in One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest actually signed to her parents. I mean, these are memorable. I remember them. They're memorable. Yeah. Or what was his name? He did the movie with... I'll remember in a minute, and then I'll tell you. But he did the one-armed push-up right there. He was, what was he, 90? Did the one-armed push-up at the Academy Awards. I mean, this is the stuff that legends are. People are legendary. Some of the stuff that they do is just beautiful. Squid Games at the Screen Actors Guild Award was adorable because they both went when they won. So, here's my prayer, just please don't give the dog the movie. or the director of the dog. Please don't do it. Hello, Jay. Already, I love dogs. You love dog. All right, already, I love dog. You love that? Oh, I hated that movie. Oh, Jay, maybe one day you can explain to me why it was even made, because if you loved it, maybe you got it. I mean, I sat there going, why did I waste 2 hours? So if you loved it, I would love to hear more, because I love you, man. So maybe you can help me, but I didn't like it. Sam Elliott said he doesn't like Yellowstone either. So he was in the Yellowstone prequel series 1883, which better get a lot of Emmys. Yeah, I'm about to, for April, subscribe to Paramount Plus so I can see it. I missed the free month. But what was interesting about the free month was I had this feeling that they were going to, make the month end before the last presentation of the end of 1883, and then you had to pay for it. So I just did not pass go, did not collect $100, and figure in April I could stream the whole thing and binge watch it. But I am really excited. I miss Sam Elliott in Yellowstone, but I love Yellowstone. I love it because real cowboys are in it. Cowboys I know of and about, and I love reading the credits. Unfortunately, I watch it on the public Paramount channel that has like a gazillion commercials in it, and they make the credits. So I can't read himself, herself. And they have a lot of eclectic characters that I love, like the woman with the pink hair who talks in a language that seems like English but isn't really. I think she's great. So I love it. I love the cowboy in the cowboy and the cowboys, and I'm crazy about the horse dealer guy. I know he's real rodeo, and so anytime he talks and anytime he demonstrates his writing skills, I'm like going salivating, and it's so good, So I'm watching it for different reasons than maybe Sam Elliott is watching it. But I've been raised around cowboys. My mother dated an amazing rodeo cowboy. And there was a guy I had a crush on. I was like 16 years old, and he must have been in his 20s. And I had a huge crush on him. He taught me how to do some really nice trick riding. And then I had a trainer when I got my first horse who trained a lot of the horses for Hollywood, for rodeos, for everything. He was an amazing guy. And I remember him saying, there's many wonderful horses, don't get a bad one. Bad ones are for the glue factory. Don't try to change a horse's personality if they're nasty. And we met one that was named Hussy, and she was really a really mean animal. And he said, that one needs to go. Goodbye. And that was the trainer's thought. But I remember my trainer took me up to meet Chief from Cuckoo's Nest. And it was great to meet him. We actually rode to his ranch, which is up in the hills, and we got to sit on our horseback. We were on horseback, and he was sitting on the fence. Can you imagine that? And you're all just chatting away about things that you love him in, because he did a lot of cool things. He did a lot of cool movies, and so I've been cowboy in my heart all my life, and so I did a lot of endurance riding with my horse. So that's something that is not rodeo. But then I barrel raced for a little bit. Never won anything, but I sure loved doing it, just a couple times before my career started. So I love riding, and I love cowboys. So I love being around them and learning what little ropes I could learn. But so Yellowstone reminds me of that, and that's what I love about it. Okay, so it touches my heart in a different way than maybe to Sam, but Jay, I love you, but I really think that movie Dog is a dog. It's nowhere near Coda. So that's my opinion, and I welcome yours. Because I love you, Jay, so much. Are you going to be at the Disney Anna thing? I sure hope you can come and celebrate with me the Legends Award, and we can just, because Jay, you were my first president and host, right? You were the one. And I told you, remember, I told you to stand at the back or have someone stand at the back and tell me when my time was getting within 5 minutes. Do you remember that? My very first speech on the stage was for the Disney Anna Fan Club, which at that time was the NFFC. They had me speak with Sam McKim and Nina Ray Vaughn about maps, Disney maps. That was the 45th anniversary, I think, guys. Yeah. So I love you, man. Even if you do like Dog. Hit enter too soon. I know, baby. I know. I heard people gushing about Power of the Dog, and I've heard people saying they hated it or were bored to tears by it. I'm open to seeing it, but don't know how I'll react. Could go either way. It's true. It's true. Now, let me say something about the Power of the Dog. There's not a lot of people who are indifferent about this film. Okay, they go, I watched it and me. No, it does create emotion. Okay, it either makes you go, oh, why did I waste my 2 hours with this film? Or you see something in it that you thought was really good. Okay, there is I would like to say something nice about it. The horses are cool. That's about all I can say. I really didn't like the acting at all. I thought it was just not there. Most of the characters seem more dead than acting, especially Kirsten Dunst. I just thought if she gets any more boring, my face is gonna fall off. So just really didn't do it for me on so many levels. Acting, emotion, Cumberbatch was way over the top. I didn't feel his character was real at all. And then there was another character there that gets involved, the young character. I didn't think he was that good either. So the movie just did not. But my point is that I think it's a movie that you're going to either love or you're going to either hate. I don't think there's a lot of middle road with this film, and that's saying something positive about it. It does create talk. However, I wouldn't have talked about it if it hadn't been nominated for Academy Award. I'm like, what the heck? Hello, Tiki. Good to see you. Thank you for that. Oh, you're so nice. Yeah, Spaceballs had the flying Winnebago. Yeah, so that's the one that was being built while Pat and I were building puppets. Yeah. It was a shop that was just on fire. Some of the greatest model builders of all time. You remember that Statue of Liberty vacuum cleaner? That was apogee. And I remember sitting there wanting that. Where am I going to put that? But I wanted it. It was so brilliant looking. And it was lit and everything. I mean, it was lit and everything. Model builders are rock stars. You know what they can do. Right now, we're watching the Godzilla era from Criterion. It's amazing. And it has behind the scenes about building the models. And, Godzilla, whether you love it or you don't love it, let's talk about what Godzilla is about, okay? The people in a Japanese Godzilla movie, Americans try to make it too much about the people, which is just stupid because it's really about rubber monsters fighting, okay? Let's get real. We want to see the rubber monsters fight, and we want to see Godzilla torch Tokyo, okay? Seriously. That's what we're there for. Okay. The other blah, blah of the people, little espionage things that happen and all this kind of stuff. We don't care. We don't care, except for the twins. We love the twins, which apparently there are several sets of twins, which I didn't realize. Now that I'm watching the actual Japanese versions, I realize how many movies I missed because America picked and choose, But now I'm watching them, and there's several sets of twins, and the twins are amazing. The ones that sang and call Mothra up. Masuraya. It's great. And all we want to see is them fight. So we really don't care about the people. We think the people are cool. And hey, there's that actor who's in every Godzilla movie. And oh my God, I love him. He was in the original. Oh my God, I've seen him in other Japanese films. Oh my God, look at him. I saw, but Japan knew that what you wanted to see was monsters fighting. And the more monsters, the better. So the stories, really didn't matter when it came to the people. One of their favorite scenarios was aliens taking over the monsters so that they could take over Earth and live there. A great scenario. There's one where they have kind of the LeVar Burton glasses from Star Trek, except for they're black. And they did it way before LeVar, but still, there's like this, and they're in silver outfits. And their face is kind of white and silvery. And they fly around in things. They fly around. Their spaceships look like desserts. So I really love that. As a kid, I would always get hungry because of the little dessert spaceships that would float. Oh, look, those look like little cakes I should eat. But it's one of my favorite films. And it's always because these things flying around look like their ships are really cute. They look like desserts. So So, but again, it's about the battles. All that, Japan and Tokyo, everybody in Japan who made Godzilla movies realized you want to see Godzilla come and save and fight, aggressive and fight, and torch the town. That's what it was all about. You didn't really care. And the model building is beautiful, and the tanks and all of the things are really cool back in the time. These are from the original Godzilla era to about, I think my husband said mid 60s, maybe. But I promise I'll bring you I'll show you the DVD set we got. It's so cool. We've been having a blast watching all of these. And now we get to watch behind the scenes, which is one of my favorite things about DVD sets is seeing the behind the scenes, So I love it. Is your shirt Star Wars? Yes, it's my Star Wars shirt. Isn't it cute? I love it. I wish it was a color though, because my husband's gonna get after me for wearing black and white, but I hadn't worn it in a while. And I really like it. It's got a nice pattern. It's just all the ships and things. Death Star, Millennium Falcon. Yeah. It's got a little thing in the back, I think, like a flap, so that if you get too hot, it expels, helps you stay cool and stuff. It's a great shirt. I don't remember where I got it, but I got it. Horror movie with the church, Fright Night, maybe. Big, beautiful windows that I defy anyone to tell if it was a model or not. It was amazing. I mean, the best of the best worked at Apogee. Of course they would, just like Stan Winston Studios, which is now called Legacy. But yeah, amazing places to work. It was a lot of fun back then. That must have been especially incredible for you as the original Star Wars super fan. It's insane. And I'm writing a book about it, but wow. I was going to release it on May the 4th, but I've changed my mind because a very wonderful comic book artist and writer, which I think he might have sent me some pages now that I'm talking to you about it. It's been a really crazy weekend. I'm going to take a look and see if I can, I'll look at it, but he wants to write a book about my life. He calls me pop culture icon. Isn't that fun? It's kind of a neat title. But I don't want it to conflict with the book he's doing. So we're going to let that book come out first, and then my Star Wars will follow close behind. So that's what's happening there. Tiki Gill, awesome. Thank you for joining us, by the way. Terry, do you know my friend Dan O'Quinn? Yes, you bet I do. And I'm going to tell you right now, if it wasn't for Dan, I might not have heard about Pat's passing or about the thing yesterday. So I'm about to write him a gushing email thanking him for thinking of me, because I don't know what I would have done if I hadn't gotten to go. I just don't know what I would have done, Gil. So thank you. Tippett and Industrial Light and Magic. Brilliant, Phil Tippett. Dennis Murin. I was in a theater when we saw, was it Dragon Slayer? The one with that beautiful dragon? That guy with the curly hair, which wasn't that great. And the dragon, which was awesome. Done by Dennis Murin of Industrial Light and Magic. And after it was done, because I love dragons, don't I? I mean, oh, really, Terry? You love dragons? I love dragons. And I was raving about this dragon with my husband. And Dennis Murin turned around after the lights came up in the theater and said, thank you. And we were like, it's Dennis Murin, inside. And we went, Dennis Murin? A pleasure to meet you. Inside, we're like, wahoo! We're trying to be real cool and calm. And what are you doing down here in the seat in front of me, by the way, while we get the chance to tell you how amazing you truly are? Yeah. It was really great, Leo. Really great. Jack Palance, you're right. Thank you, Leo. He did that one-arm push-up. Wasn't that cool? Oh, man, Jack Palance, what a killer. And it was Billy Crystal movie. What was that Billy Crystal movie that he worked with? And that's why he did it, because he was showing he was still a tough hombre. Oh, that was such a good movie. Yeah. Memories. I remember when they shortened Frank Sinatra and played him off, and the one-arm push-ups with Jack Palance. Yes. Well, do you remember? I can't remember which movie was going to be, that was the one slated the Academy was going to vote for. See, the Academy loves to hear what you think the movie's going to be and then voting something else, Now, the votes are already in. Understand that my husband, who is part of the Academy as an art director, he they all voted, I think it was January, that their votes had to be in. So it's just the Academy has a different perspective and attitude, and this is what I love about them. But you remember when I just lost his name. See, isn't that terrible? It's so bad. But anyway, in The Goodbye Girl, this wonderful actor, and Joe and Leo will tell me his name because all of a sudden it just went out of my head. I worked with his brother on a project actually, but he won for Goodbye Girl, and that was my favorite movie of that year. And I kept going, Goodbye Girl, Goodbye Girl, Goodbye Girl. And when it won, the house came down. I remember I was by myself, and people felt that electricity go through all their houses because it was not the one that they had slated as victory. But when it won, he was shocked. I remember he stood up and he was like, yeah, you know, you love it when someone doesn't prepare a speech because they just know in their hearts they're not going to win. And then they win and they're like, you know, that's the best thing of all. That is the best thing of all. That doesn't happen often. Many prepare their speeches whether they think they're going to win or not because they want to thank everyone and their brother that made the movie. I personally, I understand how important it may be to you if you're a producer or director or whatever, you get your name thanks 50,000 times. But I'd much rather just hear about how it feels and how they were a little kid and they stood in front of their mirror with their cardboard Oscar dreaming of winning it, and then how they won it, you know? I just love the stories of that journey for them. And I wish it was more about the journey for everyone than having to thank all the people that gave them the opportunity. You know, that can be later. You know, it'd be great to have a program and you thank everybody. Everybody gets to thank who they want, and then they can just tell how they're feeling, because that's what I loved about the Academy Awards of the early times. They just were so, you know, when Sidney Poitier wins his first, he's like, you know. So that's the kind of stuff. I've been watching them since I was a very little child. So I just love the story parts of it. And I don't know if a person's going to get dinged if he doesn't remember all the names or she doesn't remember the names. It feels like if you forget a name, you're going to get in trouble, maybe never get hired again. And I hope that's not the case. I would just love for you to be able to thank them. And it may be in Variety. Variety is a wonderful newspaper here that's about acting and films and everything, about films and producers and all of that. And maybe they could do that, you know, a couple weeks before in the Variety Academy issue, where all the nominees thank them for being nominated and thank everybody in that you can read about. And then they can just relax and say how they feel about when they win. That's what I would like to see happen. And why am I saying this? Because I would like to be part of the solution, just not complain all the time. I'd like to say, here's a solution to that. I really would love to hear how they're feeling. And I think that I feel like there's a fear if they don't get a name right, they're never going to work in this town again. And I hope that's not the case. You know, I don't like fear speeches. And I would really, really love it if maybe the Daily Variety said, hey, let's do our Academy nominee issue. And all the nominees get to say what they want to say, thank who they want to thank, think about it, put it in the Daily Variety. And I would buy that issue, Daily Variety, if you're listening. I would buy that issue every single time and keep it. So that's what I think they could do. So then the actor could come up and say how it feels to win, because you know they didn't wake up in the movie and think they were going to win an Academy Award. Meryl Streep, who's won all these Academy Awards, still is surprised when she wins one. And she talked about at a couple of things where I got to hear her speak, which is just, if you ever get to hear Meryl Streep speak, it's the best. But she sat there and she talked about, you know, when she was young and what this felt like, what she thought about, what she dreamed, what she, you know, those are the stories we like to hear. We'd all tune in if it was like that, you know. So Academy, hello. I think I'll make that suggestion when I go down there too. Yeah, I think I will. Yeah. If you don't make the suggestion, it doesn't happen, guys. So, you know, this is why I'm saying it out loud to you. Jack Palance, 1992 for Best Supporting Actor, did one-arm push-ups on stage. Billy Crystal quipped Jack Palance just bungee jumped off the Hollywood sign. Yes. And Billy Crystal's brilliant. brilliant person, brilliant comedian. Someone I love. I never tire of watching him and Whoopi Goldberg. Him and Whoopi Goldberg, who are very close friends, are real thinking comedians. So they often will do comedy that makes you think, and I love them for that. Yeah, it just blows me away how brilliant they are. 1883 was compelling with great performances. Yeah, I can't wait to see it. I get to binge watch it next month. Non-tax month. Yeah. Oh yeah. Teeter, Jen Landon, Michael Landon's daughter. She's great, but that account is bizarre. Yes. Indeed. Yes, it is, but it's great. Teeter, or do they call her Tater? Is it Tater? I think they call her Tater, don't they? Or is it Teeter? Anyway, she's brilliant. She is so off and crazy and wild and cool. See, I have to tell you that I had to vote on Yellowstone's 4th season as a Screen Actors Guild voting member. And I had never seen Yellowstone. So I actually saw all of season 4 before I ever saw 1, 2, or 3. Now I'm catching up with 1, 2, or 3. So it's kind of backwards for me to get to see it because they wouldn't let me stream the whole thing, only the season that I was voting on. So I was really taken by it, loved it, but now I'm learning about what got to that 4th season, and they're doing a 5th, which is kind of exciting. I'm also not a huge Kevin Costner fan, but I sure love him in this one. He's really bringing it to that, so I love watching him. Wow, cool. You met Will Sampson. I did. I rode my trainer, who had worked with him a lot in film, said, I got to surprise you. And we rode to his ranch. Yeah. Let's talk about how cool that is, that I rode to Will Sampson's ranch on horseback. I mean, come on. That is a great way to meet someone like Will. Yeah. Will was great. And we would go several times to visit him. We would just go get on horseback. You want to go see Will? Yeah, let's go see Will. See if he's home. It was really fun and casual and cool. Yeah, great trainer I had. Audrey says the girl with the pink hair is Michael Landon's daughter. Yeah, I didn't know that. Thank you for sharing that with me. She's fantastic. She's quirky, odd, wonderful, cool, like me. So of course I'm going to love her. But she is really something. When she's sitting up, like I said, I just saw her in a very small part of the 4th season. So then I went back and she's sitting on top of the barn and she's just speaking this English that is almost you can't even decipher it. Oh, she's just darling. She is really, really good. I hope to see more of her. She's brilliant. She's brilliant in that series. Did you ever meet Ben Johnson? He's one of my favorite cowboy actors, probably because he was a real cowboy. His performances in Spielberg's debut, The Sugarland Express, is my favorite. I never met Ben, but his work is amazing. You are right. And Sugarland Express is one of those that's kind of hit and miss, but the cowboys were great, weren't they? Yeah. Yes, says Tiki Gill. Yes. My only real favorite Godzilla movie is the original Gojira because it's an alliteration of the firebombing of Japan's cities and the 2 atomic bombings during World War II. There's a bunch of them, though. See, that's what I'm talking about. If you watch these as a little kid, the U.S. cherry-picked what they wanted us to see. And now that I've got the actual set from Criterion, I'm noticing a lot of movies I never saw. So they're really good. I first saw Godzilla and they put Raymond Burr. They took Gojira and they chopped it up and they put Raymond Burr in because they thought Americans wouldn't like the movie if it didn't have an American actor in it. And I like that version too. I think that version is fun. But the original Gojira is my favorite, as one of my favorites as well, because of the hand puppet. In the first 2 or 3 films, they used a hand puppet of Godzilla. I'm going to make one. I love it so much. Mark Silverman. Wow. Hi. How on earth Kirsten Dunst got a supporting actress nomination for that dreary performance is just a mystery. Coda will win Best Picture. Mark, I love you. Yeah, dreary. You're so kind. Oh, gosh. I thought they should have checked her pulse. Was that woman even alive? I mean, that movie was just not happening. And thank you, Mark, for saying that. we're going to use all our powers to make Coda win, because Coda was amazing. And I agree with you. I miss you, Mark. I miss you. I hope you can come to the Disneyana fan club event. They're honoring me as a Disney legend, and I would love to see you there. I just miss you. Yeah, I miss you. Mark Silverman, one of the best voiced people in the world, in my opinion. I need to tell you my Dennis Murin story one of these days. It's too long for here, but it's funny. I'd love that, Joe. See, you could be on our Patreon page and be in a spotlight. See, City Slickers. Thank you, Leo. See, this is why I have you guys. I can't possibly remember all that's in my head. So when a marble drops out, you guys always catch it, and I can put it back in my head and go, yeah! Jack Palance of City Slickers with Billy Crystal. Woohoo! I love you guys. Thank you. You always keep me real if I say things. I really appreciate it. Jack Palance won his Oscar for his performance in City Slickers 1991. That is correct. And that's when he did that push-up thing, and people were just blown away. He was amazing. He was tough. He was gritty. Yeah. I mean, he was great. I remember there was another movie I thought my face was going to fall off. It was so boring for me. My mother wanted me to take her to see a movie called Reds, Reds. And it was a lot of people talking. And I remember just being so bored that I felt my face sliding off my skull. It was that boring. My mother was really into the movie. So I told her I was going to pop out and get some popcorn or something. I think I was about, it was a long movie. So I think maybe I was about an hour in. And I came out into the theater and ran into Garrett Graham of, Garrett Graham of Phantom of the Paradise. And I was like, oh my God, Phantom of the Paradise. And he said, oh my God, and I said, oh, you were so good. You need an aqua lung to breathe. The atmosphere is so thick around here. You need an aqua lung to breathe. Anyway, it was brilliant. And he said, what are you doing out here? And I said, I just can't watch that movie. It's just killing me. And he said, me too. And we sat in the Chinese theater on a bench and talked about Phantom of the Paradise, which is one of my favorite films. And it was great to talk with him about it because he was so good as, what was he, Beef? Anyway, God, that movie was so good. Anyway, it was great to sit and talk with him. So this makes me think of, I was in the Chinese theater and we both hated the movie. And my mother probably thought, what happened? Did she fall in? But there I was talking with him. And it was, what a great experience. And I just thought of that. Wow. City Slickers, thank you, Tiffany. I appreciate it. You got my back. Richard Dreyfuss, exactly, Joe. Richard Dreyfuss. Can you imagine that I can't remember Richard Dreyfuss, and Jaws is one of my favorite films? I mean, come on. The other one is What About Bob that I love, but apparently Richard Dreyfuss was not a Bill Murray fan. My watch, for some reason, is fighting me today. It's very distracting because it refuses to snap. There it goes. Hopefully it'll stay there. But yeah, apparently Frank Oz directed What About Bob. Richard Dreyfuss and Bill Murray did not get along. So, wow. But that's one of my favorite movies is Richard Dreyfuss and Bill Murray in What About Bob. And then, Richard Dreyfuss and Goodbye Girl was so great, so wonderful, so sweet, so darling, so charming. And I just did like I'm doing now with Mark Silverman. Go. I sat there and said, Goodbye Girl. And when it won, I lost my mind. I was so excited. I mean, my whole neighborhood knew that I was happy at that choice. So, that's the thing. And look, Leo's right behind you with Richard Dreyfuss. Well done, boys. Darn work getting in the way again. Have a meeting. See you all. Take care soon. Angie, mwah, we love you. And you can listen later. You know that. Yes, you can. Just benchmark where you left off and you can keep going. That's what they say is the magic of YouTube. And I love that. Richard Dreyfuss was up for Best Actor in two 1977 movies that year, Goodbye Girl and Close Encounters. But back then, Close Encounters, which actually came out a few months, I think it was November, December of 77, it came out. And I love that movie so much. I saw it at the Cinerama Dome, Close Encounters. I drove home, grabbed my mother, and took her back to see it. I said, Mom, you're going to dig this so much. And I grabbed her and I saw it a second time, and I took my mom to see it. She really went crazy for that movie. But they really weren't into sci-fi movies. Academy gets a little funny when it comes to superheroes, sci-fi, films like Star Wars and Close Encounters. They were just kind of like, they'll give you a visual effects award, but they're so whenever you're able to break that barrier and be one of the movies that they actually nominate, that's a big win for you guys in the sci-fi fantasy genre, because a lot of times the Academy is like, oh, no, we'd rather nominate Power of the Dog, and you're like, really? Because it wasn't good. So yes, but Goodbye Girl was really great. Richard Dreyfuss was amazing in Close Encounters of the Third Kind, but really, really special in Goodbye Girl. And when he won for Goodbye Girl, I just lost it. I love that movie. I love that movie. That movie was just everyone, including the little girl, brilliant in that movie. So, memorable. That guy's memorable. Yeah. Joe says, oh man, I loved Reds. Yeah, not me. Well, wait a minute. Let me say that again, Joe. I loved Reds too, because I got to meet Cary Graham. Yeah. I mean, we love it for different reasons. So I'll give you this one. Reds is in my memory because that's where I met him and got to talk to him till the movie just about let out. We both were like, oh, we better get in there. Our guests are going to think we eloped or something. He was really a doll. We talked for that whole, that movie was long. We talked that whole time, and then realized that, the person at the candy counter at the Chinese theater said, you better get back in there. You're not, you're going to miss your people. So we said, oops, great to meet you, mwah, and off we went. But it was great. So in that respects, yeah, it's long, but there's so many great performances in it. Jack Nicholson almost stole the show. Oh, I'm sorry you didn't dig it. I didn't. What I did. I did for different reasons. Yeah. It'll always be in my heart, Joe. I'll tell you, Reds will always be in my heart because that was a very, very exciting time for me. Yeah, I loved it. Well, guys, we're at a close. I noticed that the group today is rather intimate, but that's okay because hopefully it's this beautiful day. Over the weekend, if your place was like mine, it was a windstorm. It practically ripped all the leaves off my trees. It was such a huge windstorm, not the most comfortable to be outside. So today the wind has died down. I'm looking out of my camera 3. If I show you out here, you can see no wind, no breeze, no banging on the window or anything. So I can see why you would be out, and I'm not offended. You can always watch this later. But thank you for joining me. Loved Close Encounters. Fun fact, I witnessed 2 UFOs the same night in Utah. Oh, Michelle, really? I always wanted to be someone who spotted a UFO. Yeah, I think that is awesome. And look, Tim Gillette just scooted in as we're saying bye. Hi, Tim Gillette. How are you? I can't wait for our next call. So I love you guys very much. So Friday, ask me anything. If you want to talk about more about Museo and Frank's or the Tam O'Shanter or books I have or some of the things we touched on today, feel free to do that. Understand that this is the subscribe if you dare, because you will be infused with enough positive energy to light New York, Chicago, Dallas, Houston, and Los Angeles just by chatting with me. So if you want that infusion of electricity, you'll get it from me here. I love you guys. Do something nice for someone else. It'll make you feel a whole lot better. And I will see you on Friday. Enjoy, everyone. Mwah. I love you guys. Thank you for that debate. It was just so cool. Off to buy tea cakes. You go, girl. You go, girl. Share them with us, okay? No. I mean, not for real. Just share on post in the tribe. Post in the tribe.